Hello, my name is Chantel, and I was born in Canada. I grew up and I went to a deaf school, then I graduated high school. And after graduating, I thought about going to America here in the USA to graduate. I moved to Boston to work for a few years, and I realized while working that I wanted to go back to school, so I decided to go back to Gallaudet. I studied and I became a teacher, and I studied some more, and it hit me that the summer I needed to require an internship from my program. So my school sent me to go to Bangkok. So I thought it was a good idea, fine. So that time it was natural for money to be paid to fly, a plane ticket. And I thought, what am I going to do? And the school said, wait, we're ready for assistance to provide you with the money to buy that plane ticket for the flight. And that wasn't a big deal. So I didn't know there was connection with time difference. So here compared to there is 1 day difference. 1 day there is actually 1 day before. So I finished letting them know that school in Bangkok where I planned to go to help teach the deaf children in Bangkok to teach them English. So when I went there, we had sent off something light for school. I was fine, sleep, eat, wear. They told me what school was, everything set up at the school. So I bought my ticket and I flew over and I arrived at the airport at 2 or 3 in the morning and there was no one there. I thought, wow, so I just sat and I waited and I didn't have text at the time, so I just waited and waited. And finally, at 8 in the morning, 2 men with my name on a sign written down, Chanel. And they said, hi, that you must be Chanel. And I said, yes. And we hopped in the car. Whew, I was tired. All night I'd been awake. So we arrived at the school. I was the only white person. So everyone wanted to touch my skin. They were all excited, coming up to me and signing in a different language. And I watched and I just didn't understand. I didn't know their sign language. So I saw one girl from Gallaudet, and she was a teacher in high school, and I was teaching elementary school. So it was perfect. And I discussed with her when I arrived. She arrived 1 week before and already picked up and learned the language. So she taught me some basics. I said, fine, and I practiced and practiced. The two of us shared a room. And the principal of the school gave us 1 week off to observe the city and the culture shock, and everything was just different. The food, the people, the clothes, the environment, the language, it was all different. So we toured around, met a whole bunch of different people, some deaf who already knew English, knew ASL, could sign, which is perfect. We could talk. And picked up sign language pretty fast. I went to the elementary kids, very excited. I remembered my first day in the class. You can't wear certain clothes, short sleeve or short shorts. In Bangkok in the summer, it's so hot and sticky. So you have to be patient and you have to just suffer and wear long sleeves and long skirts. There are no windows. So I went into the room and all the kids were sitting around very excited and watching. And I started signing at the same time using my mouth and mouthing. All the kids looked at me perplexed and they threw them off. And I said, you don't understand me? They said, oh, you're lipping. It's different. So I shut off my mouth and just signed ASL. And the kids understood my signing. A lot of work, but it was fun. Met one boy. He was maybe 12. I don't remember his name. He tended to come up to me a lot every day after school. I said it was fine, and we'd play and we'd chat. I asked him, why don't you go home? He said, oh no, my mom works until late. The sign for Mother in Bangkok is something with the hair twirling. I lost it. I don't remember. I never used it. So I said, oh, your mom is at work. Well, you have no someone at your home. So I said, fine, come with me. until night, and when it gets dark, I will walk with you back to your home from the school. It's not far. So we walked and dropped him off. And I did that a few times. The principal noticed and told me, hey, walking back and forth from school to his house, don't do that. Leave him to do it on his own. He's young. It's dangerous. It doesn't matter. I said, fine. Later on, the last day of teaching, that boy who I loved was crying and he told me, I'll never forget. He came back. I went back to Gallaudet and realized that teaching maybe is not my thing. 2 years later, he sent me a picture of him all grown up, and it was nice to see that picture. And he had written down some of the best broken English and told me he was doing well, he was having a nice day, that he was happy. One thing I looked at was that boy told me that his mother's teacher had a boy doing inappropriate things with the mother's teacher. I didn't know what to do, so I decided to go to the principal, who told me it's none of my business. So still to this day, I wonder, are those kids still doing properly with the teacher? It's sad. It's very sad. It's a good experience though, the culture shock. I encourage everyone who wants to fly to another country, go ahead and go for it. For hearing people who think deaf people should not go because they're deaf and that you can't talk or can't communicate with other people, ignore them. You can. So